Hello and welcome back to the channel. So I've played Battlefield 6 for quite a few hours actually, and now first of all I want to say there isn't gameplay in the background since I surprisingly wasn't invited to the Create a Live event the other day. I mean, it makes no sense with my hundreds of subscribers and tens if not hundreds of views on Battlefield videos, but I guess they must have forgot to hit the send button on my invite or something. So anyway, back to the video. I'm talking a little bit about my thoughts about Battlefield 6 since they've lifted the NDA in regards to talking about it, and I guess some people might want to know how it was. So I've been part of Battlefield Labs since the very first playtest at the start of March, and obviously I haven't spoken about it or mentioned it in any videos or anything because of the NDA, even though the chance of them stumbling on any of these videos is like less than 0%. So in terms of how it worked, like at the start especially, it was just running quite a rough build of the game. Like you could see the difference from like I guess Battlefield 2042, but there was a lot of similarity as well. But yeah, the menus and stuff was where you could really see like a lot of the similarity. Obviously the world, you could see that they've made it a bit different, but obviously they must have used that game as a base. But yeah, so a lot of temporary textures and bugs and all that sort of stuff were in the game, but they were quite clear that that was going to be the case and to not yet expect anything more. Because they were like, oh yeah, the game's in pre-alpha. But yeah, now obviously my videos and stuff aren't sponsored by EA or anything, surprisingly again, but yeah. So yeah, it's not like so basically you can know that I'm going to be very honest with how I felt. So yeah, to be honest, my first impressions were that the game seemed pretty decent. I mean, you're already off to a good start when you decide to include a scoreboard in a Battlefield game, because for a hot minute they decided that wasn't even necessary. But yeah, so the gameplay and maps are actually pretty decent for the most part from what I've played. And the weapon balance was okay as well. There were definitely some weapons that were stronger and some weapons that were like quite weaker, but hopefully with the like data that they've collected and stuff, they should be able to make that a bit better for this upcoming open beta and definitely for the full game. But yeah, one of the biggest changes that I remember and that I loved was the drag option for reviving, because like it's, in terms of like a feature itself, it's not like anything insane, but it's like one of those things that once you have it, not having it in the other Battlefields, you're gonna feel it. It's quite a nice feature, especially if you're like right next to cover and then you want to just drag someone in. It's quite good. It's just a good addition that raises the bar a bit and makes the game a bit more enjoyable and fun to play. But yeah, so like overall it was quite positive, to be honest. But like I said, I'm gonna be honest, like over time as the novelty of Battlefield 6 wore off, I found the game to be a bit less fun, and obviously when you're playing an unpolished version of the game, it's easier to lose interest. But I am going to talk about this later, but I feel like the open beta is where we're really going to see, it's going to be where you're going to make your mind up really. But yeah, I guess moving on to Battlefield Labs itself, the idea of Battlefield Labs was good, but one of the things that was like a bit annoying was it was kind of hard to see the effects of any feedback, and I found myself like providing less feedback as the playtests went on, as things even like a large majority of playtesters were saying seemed to be left unanswered. And there's definitely some better ways for them to approach feedback as well. Like the feedback options they had were very specific, and sometimes, well, a lot of the time they didn't allow for the community to talk about what they wanted to talk about. Now I could carry on talking about labs, and to be honest there's a lot to dissect, but you get the essence, and there's YouTubers a lot more well equipped who are probably going to discuss it in a lot more detail and much better than I am. But yeah, I think the game itself has a decent foundation. It's definitely not like a Battlefield 2042 type of situation, and the version of the game in the open beta should be in its most polished state so far, so it's going to be a great chance for people to form their opinions, and I guess that's really what you need to take from this video. You need to form your own opinion on the game. Even with 2042 in the beta, like loads of people were like, oh, this game's great, or even the people that were like a bit 50-50, they were like, oh, they're definitely going to fix it for launch. But obviously that's not like what you see now is going to be quite close to what is going to come out. They're not going to make any like insane changes right now, so yeah, like now's the time to make your mind up after playing it yourself. But yeah, so now obviously there's people who's been reeled in by the trailers and that, and to be fair, the trailers and things have produced are pretty good, but they're always quite good, to be honest. I still find it like I personally wouldn't pre-order just looking at the trailers, but yeah, some people do that, and there's nothing the rest of us can do about it, so we shouldn't waste time being bothered. I guess just make sure you, the person watching who hasn't pre-ordered, play the game before you make any decisions. But yeah, that pretty much takes me to the end of this video. I know it was quite short, it's just me waffling basically, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience because obviously I'm not really going to talk about it anywhere else on the channel, so I feel like a little short dedicated video, it might provide you some information, and it'll be a bit different to like all the big YouTubers talking about it who are gonna say things in certain ways and that. But yeah, like it is fun, like playing and helping provide some experience and some feedback and stuff to shape the game, and hopefully Battlefield is back. And like I said, it certainly feels closer to being back than it did with 2042, but I think this beta is really going to be where you can really begin to form any real opinions on the game. So yeah, I'll be back with some standard gameplay commentaries during the beta for you to watch and enjoy, so stay tuned and let me know what your thoughts are about the game as well, and how you found it during the beta, and even now leave a comment down below what you think so far based on the trailers and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.